Good day, everyone. My name is Jack Kenobi, and we're here with co host Kent Bull. And today we are joined by no other than Simon Walker, head admin, lead hacking investigator, and director of game affairs.
Hello, how's it going, boys?
Unfortunately, you guys missed me on the last podcast, and I apologize for that, and it won't happen again. Wink.
All right. For today, we have a lot of things to discuss, considering the fact that Simon holds two really important positions. Plus, we also had a server update today, just like every other Thursday. That makes it the eighth consecutive update, I think, weekly update. So there are some aspects in the update that are concerning Simon's personal job, which we'll touch upon later. But first, we're gonna begin with a few questions for Simon. Now we're gonna put this in two parts, where with the game affairs section and then the hacking investigator section. So starting off with game affairs, can you introduce us to like game affairs? Like, since not every player knows what game affairs means or does, so tell us like what are the different sections of game affairs.
Of course, let's just get started. Well, Game Affairs basically is just in charge of everything related to properties, gangs, and factions. So basically, our job precisely is to supervise them. We leave every single decision to each of the head of departments. Let's say Alex Diaz is the head of factions. He takes care of factions, but we supervise from above. We make sure that nothing goes wrong. This is what we do. This is our job precisely. We gotta ensure that nothing ever goes wrong. And this isn't only about factions. It's about gangs. It's about properties. Basically, we gotta just keep track of everything. And yeah, that's it in general. We just gotta supervise. We gotta come up with new logical rules. We gotta pick leaders wisely, and that would be it. That would be it. Is there anything specific you want to know, like specific details about anything?
Yeah, we'll ask you a few questions. So let's just start off with properties, because
Of
I've
course.
been seeing you and Lance, the director of
Yeah.
properties, doing lots of things lately. So could you like shortly tell us about what you and Lance have been up to lately?
Yeah. So basically, as you can see, Lawless has been here for a very long time, and there's a lot of houses, a lot of businesses, a lot of lands. It's stacked up all over the map, and we gotta reduce them somehow. So what do? We just go around and we check for inactive owners of properties, regardless if it's houses or lands or businesses. We just check their stats. We make sure these people haven't logged in for more than like 5 months, 6 months, 3 months, depends on the situation, of course. So we make sure that these people are inactive and we just take them away. Why do we take them away? We take them away because if these people actually cared about their stuff, they would log in. All we're asking is from them to log in for 1 second. They just gotta log in and type /Q, and that's it. That's all we're asking. If these people aren't capable of doing that, that means they don't care. If they don't care, we just revoke their businesses and properties, and we give this opportunity to other people who are actually right now donating because they care about Lawless, because they care about the player base. They want to make money, so we make a lot of new spots available for them. For example, let's say Big Ammunition is owned by Jack Kenobi, but Jack Kenobi doesn't want to play, doesn't want to log in. Uh, doesn't give a shit in general. So we just go to Big Ammunition and we take it from him because he doesn't care. We give it to somebody. We can place it in an auction on the forums. We can give it to somebody who actually cares.
Or
So
just delete it.
Wow.
what?
Or just delete it completely.
We do that as well. We do that as well. Depends on the location. If it's a really good location, we just let it stay there. We just announce it on the forums so people can just start bidding. May the best win it. And this is what we're basically doing, especially the past couple of days. We've been checking every single house. We actually seized non-RP houses, non-roleplay houses. For example, if you got a tiny cottage with a big ass mansion interior, it doesn't fit inside of it. So we just seize it. We don't delete it. Be careful. We just take it away. We place it in LV. And what the fuck? Okay, so place it in LV, and uh, we keep it there until the owner shows up. Okay, so he shows up. If he really wants his house back, he has to post a new location for his house or business, depends. And the properties department just approves it. It's very simple. That's what we do. That's what we've been doing, and that's what we're gonna keep doing because this is what's right. This is what's logical, and this is common sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that because there have been a lot of problems with precisely the property sections on the server because not many players are able to get good spots.
Sorry about the interruption. We had a security incident, but it's been resolved now, so we're going to continue. Back to what Simon was saying. Have you ever considered moving lands and businesses out of Los Santos, maybe incentivizing players to spread out a little bit more?
Well, we've actually thought about this a lot of times, and this is one of the common ideas we already have in minds right now. But at this very moment, it's not wise to just expand out of Los Santos, because our player base is right. It's good right now. It's 150 to 100, which is good. But we need to plan this properly. This needs like a master plan. We can't just move them out there because if we do, who's gonna go there and buy? Why would someone bother? Everyone wants to reach the nearest ammunition. Everyone wants to go to the nearest clothing shop. Everyone wants a nearby land because they get most wanted when robbing the bank and they want to go hide there. So it's not wise, but personally, I really recommend moving the lands out of Los Santos because lands cause packet loss. Okay, so instead of having 100 FPS, you're gonna have like 70 FPS, which matters a lot. So basically, I'm with the idea of moving lands out of Los Santos, but at this very moment, it's not a good idea because each and every single player is attached to his location. I got this location, for example, for 5 years. You're gonna take it away from me? No, please don't take it away from me. So we just leave them there for now. But in the near future, we might plan something out. I gotta talk to Papa Five about this, so we can probably find something. Just a solution, a good solution for everybody to be satisfied about it. Yeah, that would be it.
I mean, I'm pretty excited about what you and Les are doing with properties right now because it's getting really hard to buy properties or find any properties. So after you guys are done with your project, I think it's gonna actually fix everything, and it's going to be much easier to find good properties or even make new ones if you guys want to. So yeah,
Exactly.
I'm looking
This,
forward to that.
yeah, this project is on the long term. It doesn't happen in one single day. We try our best. We go around. We look for houses, non-RP houses, non-RP locations, non-RP buildings. We look for all of those, but this is a long-term project, and of course, we're doing this because people need new spots. They need new house locations. They need a lot of new things. SAMP, it's a video game, but it's really really unique because it's like a real life thing. You go work, you gather some cash for yourself, you buy houses. So people love to do that.
You go
So
to casino, lose
properties,
everything you have. Yeah, exactly.
of course. Yeah. So we're doing this just to make everyone happy because everyone is still interested in getting new stuff for himself, and yeah, that's the main project purpose. Yeah.
It's a pretty hard task too, because they have to investigate each single house, each single business like on its own, and it takes like not like a small amount of time. It's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes for each house, and yeah, it's pretty
This
good
takes a
help from them.
Yeah, this takes a lot of time, and I'm actually really, really proud of Lance because he's doing nothing but searching for non-RP houses and non-RP locations and lands and stuff like that. He's just spending his time as long as he's in game to do that. He's just working on the project, and I'm really proud of him because he's put in a lot of work in this. So yeah,
All right, Jack. I think we should move to factions now and briefly talk about the factions of Lawless today.
let's talk about
And
factions.
yeah, what do you have to say about the current situation with the faction management?
Well, the current situation it's actually good right now. We got two leaders. We got Hank. We got Ray Bronx. We're not gonna talk about the Hitman Agency because this is classified, of course. But
Right.
in general, FBI, PD, and FMD are in a good state. We got a lot of active members in each and every single faction, and they're all doing their job properly. But at the end of the day, we're always going to have a lot of rule breakers, and we just do our best to just catch those who intend to ruin other people's gameplay. And yeah, that's it. But yeah, Ray Bronx is really doing good. He's active. He's managing his faction properly. He's trying to make a lot of new ranks, a lot of new divisions with new purposes, instead of just adding in the old fashioned LSPD. As for FBI, they're just doing their job. They're making case files. They're just
Yeah.
doing them.
And
Yeah,
Sad
but in
News has been
general,
doing pretty
yeah.
good too.
Sorry, what?
And Sad News has been doing pretty good too. Like I've been watching their threads and live, what do you call it, interviews. They're doing pretty good as well.
Yeah, of course, they're doing a really good job. We as Game Affairs, we don't like always stick our nose everywhere. Just leave them the freedom to do whatever they want. We just supervise from above and make sure nobody fucks up or make a mistake. So at this very moment, we're actually happy with our factions. Every single faction is in a good state, and yeah, we're happy about them. We're happy about them.
And what about gangs? Tell us about gangs too, like
Yeah,
briefly.
we actually made some changes this month. This month, we made gang alliances in character. Like way before, if you wanted to ally somebody, you just gotta go to the administrator and ask him if you can ally with this gang, and if you can, uh, you gotta post a request or something so so you get an approval. Which for me personally, I thought it's bullshit. Okay, you don't need an administrator to get some allies for yourself. All you have to do is just increase your interaction in game with other gang leaders, and you can make it yourself, just like the old days. This is how it was in 2K13, and this is how it's gonna be right now from this moment onwards, because this is what's best.
Hey,
You can team up with every single gang, and this also will decrease the gang complaints a lot, because if two gangs are allied back in the days before we implemented this new rule, everyone cries. Like, let's say I'm in the blue gang and you're in the yellow gang, and I decide to help you. I wake up the second day to find a phone complaint on me because I had no right to assist you because we're not official.
exactly.
So right now we just got rid of all of this nonsense and bullshit, and we left it all up to them. They decide they can ally whoever they want, whenever they want. It's all up to them, which is really good, and it's actually working out because everyone's happy about it, and we're getting a lot of less complaints. And yeah, yeah.
And you guys did the same thing with factions, right? With faction tension.
About factions, I added some new rules. They're not official. They're implemented, but not official yet. They're going to be official soon, in the near future, like probably this week. The changes I made precisely are like they're based on player demand. I didn't add anything because I want to add it. There's someone screaming in the background. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, can you say that again?
Okay. So
Fucking
basically,
retarded.
okay, I've made a lot of new faction and gang rules, but I didn't do them because I want to do them. I did them based on player demand. For example, um, I need to recheck the rules one by one. So yeah, for example, cops used to block bank robberies with Kate. They just go to the fucking door and place Kate, which is
Yeah.
which is bullshit. It doesn't make any sense. If you're a robber, you just go out to find your way blocked and cops waiting for you. They just shoot you down to death and arrest you, which is not fair at all. So I added this rule because players complained about it. I also added a lot of new bank robbery rules. For example, right now, if you gotta attend a bank robbery, whether you're a cop or a gang member, you gotta have your bandana and badge on. Why? Because when you attend, basically, a lot of them backstab you, especially civilians. Some civilians want to just prove themselves to other gangs, so they just stand there, wait for you to turn your back, and they backstab you. It's considered as death match, even if they have a reason to help these gangs. If you want to be in the robbery, you gotta be a part of the robbery. You either gotta have your bandana on, either you gotta be the most wanted, of course, and that will decrease the amount of DM because some people actually abuse this. if I'm there at the bank and I see a bank robbery going on and I'm bored, I want to kill somebody. So I just abuse this moment and backstab, whether it's a cop or a gang member. I just backstab them because I want to satisfy myself. And, you know, so I just added these rules now to ensure none of these things happen. Like none of them. If you want to attend a bank robbery, you got to have your bandana or badge on. And
Right.
also, I've forbidden LSPD from planting bombs inside of the bank, not outside, because basically LSPD gets free guns. Okay, they can come back as much as they want. They have no limits. They can keep coming back. The revenge killing rule doesn't apply on the bank robbery. So why would you use a C4 to kill 10 gang members who are struggling and fighting hard to get at least 40K and making weapons out of their own pocket? So it doesn't make any
Right.
sense that
Right.
a single cop who's probably rich and can make 10 fucking C4s in 1 minute just goes and bombs everyone. Plus, innocent people might die in this explosion. So some people were actually against me in this decision. They told me it's up to them. They told me we don't have to interfere in such thing. But I think otherwise because, yet again, I didn't come with this all by myself. I did this on player demand because a lot of gang members complained about it. They were getting bombed a lot, losing their stuff, getting arrested instantly due to one single C4. So yeah, this is the new rule about bank robberies, and there's a lot of new rules. For example, I also added the DNA rule. I'm pretty sure you heard about it.
Yeah, of course.
Why did I add this rule? First of all, it's not like 100% mandatory. It's something that you should do. It's something that you should do. Why you should do it? Let's say I snap you down and you're a criminal. I don't see your name, but I just sniped you down and killed you. I can charge you based on my damage informer. I can just see your name down there because I shot you. I can see your name and charge you. Does this make sense? No, it doesn't make any fucking sense at all. I should go to your body, to your corpse, and take DNA and charge you. This way, we'll avoid a lot of complaints because we've faced a lot of complaints where people accuse cops for charging them like 5 or 10 minutes later. So right now, if you're a cop, you take somebody's DNA and you want to charge him later on because you got distracted in a fucking gunfight or something, you can just have evidence that you got their DNA. You don't even have to get evidence because we can check the logs and make sure. So this way
Right.
we ensure that nobody gets misjudged anyhow. Yeah,
Actually,
this
that's like
is
the one
yeah,
thing I really like about you, the way you approach things and problems. And you're always like fair to both parties, and you always like make rules that come from the player demand. You always listen to what players want and then make rules like according to that, which I actually appreciate about you and the way you handle things.
of
So
course. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, there's something really nice about SAMP. There's something which is psychological. When people get power, okay? Let's say I'm just a normal player and I become an admin. I feel like I got a lot of power above players, and people who can't control this, they lose it. They become toxic. They become power hungry. They become uh, I don't know. It's just you just gotta focus on your own behavior. You just always gotta do what players want, not what you want. You gotta see what they want. You know, this is what this is the road to success. You always gotta check what makes people happy, not what makes you happy. Let's say every single player is demanding X rule, and I just look at it. I don't see it good. I think it's bad, but they want it. So I look at things from their perspective, and if it actually makes sense, I implement it, even if I don't like it. But I always try to do what players want because this is what's right. We shouldn't do what we see fit because it satisfies us inside our heads,
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah,
And
yeah,
this isn't only about Sam. Like this is about everything in life. Just like in history,
of
we've seen
course,
so many dictators, so many kings become tyrants because of their power, who got like too much power, they couldn't control it, so they just turned mad and started killing everyone, started waging wars for nothing. I mean, this isn't just a thing that concerns Sam. It's like human psychology and the way people are made. Like, what do you think,
of
Jack?
course,
Simon, your job as director of game affairs, your job is to mediate the playing field. Make sure everything is fair in the server. And
Of course.
I think your job is very important. And in my book, your job ranks higher than a ton of jobs out there. Your position affects the entire server. I think all the rules you implement are fantastic. And what I've noticed is a push towards light role play. Are you guys trying to implement light role play, or at least uh, increase rules to cater towards role play?
Yeah. Well, about roleplay. Basically, people here, like lawless players, are used to this system, dynamic roleplay. They can roleplay whenever the fuck they want. They don't have to abide any rules. They just can roleplay whenever they want. So basically, from my perspective, my personal perspective, I see that a metagaming rule should be implemented and roleplay should be enforced once again. Why? If we implement roleplay, we're gonna have like so much less toxicity. You know, right now when you have a gunfight, it's not about like roleplay. It's about who beats who. Okay, you kill people to simply insult them. You kill them and say, "Easy, sit down, get the fuck out, bitch boy." You know, you say a lot of bad things just so you satisfy yourself because you know this game takes out a lot of frustrations and which is normal. So I think it should be implemented. But if you look at it at things on the other hand, a lot of people are going to show up and just simply say, "No, it's not good. We got a lot of little kids who don't know how to roleplay, and the metagaming is going to go on forever and ever." And you know, each person has his own opinion, and both of the parties actually make sense. They both make sense because having roleplay is good. It decreases toxicity, it decreases rule breaking, it decreases a lot of things. But also on the other hand, we got a lot of people who don't know how to roleplay. So imagine if you just see a little guy passing by and he says, "Hello, my name is Benji. I'm 19 years old. I live in America." So are you gonna punish him for that because he obviously didn't know about the rule? He doesn't know. Nobody would do something against the rule without being conscious about what kind of punishments they're going to face, you know. So we're going to have basically a lot of punishments if we implement this rule. So first thing we're going to do now, we're going to implement this step by step. We're not 100% sure. We're talking about it still, but we're planning it out. So we're going to do it step by step. Like for example, first I start enforcing factions to not metagame like anywhere, anytime, you know.
Yeah.
So we first start with this because logically, when you see someone talking to you in game and you see that he's role playing, you feel like you have to role play. If I come to you and say, "Hello, Ken, how was your day? Where do you live?" and stuff, like in a role play behavior,
Scenario, yeah.
yeah, you gotta comply with me. You feel like you gotta comply with me because if you don't comply, you feel like you're shit,
Yeah,
like you're just
exactly.
not role playing. Yeah, everyone has this feeling. So we're trying to study this properly, but for now, we're not implementing anything anytime soon. We're just gonna study it properly. We're not focused on other things. There's a lot of other things which matter mostly. Yeah,
Yeah, research is pretty important. Let's talk about your assistant, Alfred, the assistant director of game affairs, right? What's your
yeah, Alfred.
relationship
Yeah.
with him?
Well, I've known Alfred for a very long time. He's a really good guy. He's ex-head admin. Alfred is a guy who gets shit done, but he's active now. Not as active as he should be, but he's active. Whenever I need him, he just shows up. I call him, he's there. You know, sometimes I just get distracted in real life. I don't have time for things, so I just call him, and he does it for me. He never like hesitated in doing anything for me, so I'm actually happy with him right now. And yeah, he's doing a good job in everything. He always casts his opinion on everything we do. He's not just standing on his chair and trying to act like a boss, you know. He's good. He's good. Alfred is a good guy. Lovely lad.
I think this just sums up the game affairs side of this podcast. I think we talked about it and discussed everything. So let's just go over to the hacking triggers. And
Let's
I would
move.
like to
Yeah,
specifically start with one thing. I
of course.
saw a forum thread by a player named Tugel, I think, say complaining about Justin Thane getting unbanned and saying that all players should be treated fairly. And you actually replied to this alongside with Sergio. So, could you give us a little insight about this situation?
Of course. About hacking investigations, first of all, the last thing I would want to do is banning someone. We're all trapped inside our houses. We all got nothing to do except playing fucking video games. So the last thing I want to do is ban someone and make him sad. Uh, Even though it's his fault, it would be his fault if he cheated. But that's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to ruin anyone's gameplay. So I want to see everyone happy. That's first. Second of all, Justin Tane. Justin Tane is my friend. Okay, he's a very close friend of mine. I've known him since the day I started playing here, and I got nothing to hide. So first of all, he got his first hacking complaint. Justin, he was cheating. We can't say he wasn't cheating. He was cheating. I know an anybody when I see him, not because I'm so tough, because I've been fucking watching videos for years and years. It's experience. If today you can do 5 push-ups, 1 month later you'll do 30 push-ups. So it's the same concept. I can just know if someone has name tags or aimbot just by looking at him. Sometimes I make mistakes. Of course, nobody's perfect. I fuck up sometimes and I fix them. But I used to look at Justin Tane, and yeah, he was cheating. He was landing crazy shots. So the thing is, the videos he had on him weren't like 100% sufficient. When I say sufficient, it's something like very obvious. All of his videos had like very fishy shots, like landing 3 shots in a row. Anyone can do that. I can do that. You can do that if you get lucky. All of his hacking complaints were like that. None of them were sufficient. I closed his first complaint, and I received a lot of negative feedback. A lot of fucking negative feedback. People called me biased. They knew he's my friend. So I was just like, I don't know what to do. If I ban him, I'm gonna falsely ban him, even though he was cheating. But we take action based on the evidence we have. If I know you got war packs, I don't ban you because I know. I wait for you to fucking use them, then I ban you. So I knew Justin is cheating, but the evidence against him wasn't 100% sufficient. And whenever I spectated him in game, he wasn't doing shit. I don't know if he has had some cheat which told him I'm in game undercover or something. I don't know. Yeah, like I would, even if he's my friend, if he's my friend, he should respect the position I'm in. He should respect that I'm at the head of hacks, and my job is to ban him. My job is to ban my friend, so he should respect that and play clean instead of cheating his ass off.
Right.
So, long story short, the evidence against him wasn't 100% sufficient, and I closed it because this is what we discussed as a hacking team, not by myself. A lot of people went for insufficient. I just looked at them. I thought between myself, maybe they're biased, but okay, I'll just let it slip this time. And I closed his first hacking complaint. 2 days later, he got another one. Also fishy, but not 100% sufficient. He landed 2 or 3 shots. I don't fucking remember, but it was something to look up to. So I looked at the hacking complaint, and everyone was already bashing me, telling me that I'm biased. So Obi PM'd me on WhatsApp. He told me, well, what do you want to do with Justin Tane? I told him to ban him, and he did. So everyone was happy about Justin Tane being banned, and that was it. But he never stopped fighting. He submitted a ban appeal and explained that it would have been better if we banned him for the first hacking complaint because the last one wasn't sufficient. He told me that in the last hacking complaint he was playing clean. Personally, I don't know if I should believe him, but it's a possibility that he was actually clean. Justin isn't a bad shooter at all. He's not bad.
Right.
So I checked the video, and I just pulled my hand out of this. I told the hacking investigators to discuss it, and told Sergio to be the judge, not me. I told Sergio to be the judge. So he checked all of the replies. A lot of people, even the people who hate him in the hacking team, agreed on unbanning him, and he was unbanned. That's it. I got nothing to do with this. Even if I did it, like I would fucking say it. But I just I wasn't involved in this. I just handed it over to Sergio and hacking investigators, and they all decided to unban him. So Justin Tane is back. Eyes are on him 24/7. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you got any questions about the hacking department, about the way we work?
Alright, Sam, so we had an update today, and Barney implemented a new cheater system where players are labeled as cheaters after they've been found guilty of hacking. They have a little tag over their heads. There's a public playlist of like who the cheaters online are to look out for them. So tell us what your thoughts are. Big
Of
future.
course, of course. Well, basically, as you know, you previously were in the hacking team, and you know that I got a policy. I created a policy along with Tumpert and Obi. I created a policy called Honest Hackers Policy. I use this policy to not ban people. For example, if I see you cheating, I'll just come at you and tell you, "Hello, Kent. How are you, bro? How's it going? You're caught cheating. I would like you to admit cheating, and I'll let you play again. But if you get caught again, the punishment is going to be doubled if you get caught again.
Right.
So you either admit, either get banned. So basically, Barney just created this cheater pool, and I'm gonna use it with this policy. Like whoever admits using cheats is gonna be marked as a cheater. They gotta have the walk of shame. They gotta be ashamed. They gotta be humiliated so they learn their fucking lesson. You know,
Yeah.
if I cheat now and I get busted and I get given a second chance with a cheater note on my forehead, I
I
don't
think
think
that's
I'm gonna
pretty
cheat
much
anymore.
worse than being banned, right? It's humiliating.
It's a humiliation. Imagine yourself as a player with a cheater tag above your head. Like, how can you cheat while you're marked as a cheater? It's a genius fucking idea. Barney killed it with this idea. I actually really love it. I love it. And yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna use it for honest hackers policy. Yeah.
It's very smart, right? Because if you have a cheater tag over your head, people are gonna record you, and you're gonna be too scared to cheat. And even leaving that alone, the mental states that puts you in will not make you cheat. Like, let's take a person, for example, let's take Jack. If Jack is cheating and he's given a second chance by you, and he has a cheater tag over his head, that is so mentally humiliating that he's not going to want to cheat at all.
Exactly. Which is really genius. It's fucking genius. Imagine someone cheats, he gets given a second chance, he stays, he doesn't get banned, but he gotta just have the walk of fucking shame. He just gotta have it. He can't cheat while marked as a cheater because he's a cheater.
Exactly. I mean, there's two things. One thing is banning someone for a month, and the other thing is putting a cheater tag over his head. Like, which do you think will prevent them hacking more? I think it's obviously the cheater tag. I mean,
It's
don't
not
you
gonna
agree?
yeah, it's not 100% gonna prevent them from cheating. Some of them don't actually give a flying fuck. Yeah, so basically, this cheater pool is something to humiliate people with. You know, if you get caught as a hacker, um, I teleport you, you admit to me, you get yourself a second chance, but you gotta just hold the cheater tag above your head, which is humiliating. So, this will give you the audacity to keep cheating. A lot of people are gonna keep cheating, which is totally normal because some people don't fucking learn, which is a fact. So, yeah, but it's actually good, you know, because if you're being humiliated, you're not gonna be cheat while being humiliated. You're just gonna stop it. You wanna be marked as the clean player, not the cheater. So I think it's a genius idea made by Barney, and yeah, I'm looking forward to use it. Yeah,
Yeah, I totally agree. It's pretty much a mindset to destroy hackers, make them stop, and it's a really good idea as far as that goes. So we should
yeah,
also go into the updates about the other things that aren't concerning hacking teams or game affairs. So first, let's mention the triple lumberjack paycheck. I mean, we had doubles, but this time Barney implemented a triple paycheck for a job, and I mean, lumberjack job was never really used by anyone. And like today when I went there, I saw like at least 20, 25 people cutting some wood up with chainsaws and running around. It was actually a pretty nice way to bring some life back into the lumberjack job.
And at the
of
moment, we
course.
got a lot of people there right now. As
Yeah,
Barney just reported, we have around 50 players right now over there in that one area.
Right, and we also had a double paycheck for the forklift job. I mean, a forklift job is something people did without the double paycheck, just for the sake of leveling it up, because once you level up the broker job, it gives you more materials every time you match run. And the players who match run more have that job maxed out. And now that it's, double payment for it, it's a pretty good encouragement for players to start doing it, trying to level up, maybe even buying double Fs from the donation store. It's a
Of
pretty
course.
good motive.
Yeah, it's really good because our economy was fucked up. Okay, everyone was poor. Nobody had money. You couldn't buy shit. So we need to do something about it. We can't just keep throwing updates left and right without taking care of the actual problem, which is the economy. So Barney basically just increased these jobs payments. Like each and every single update, he increases a specific jobs payment just so he doesn't leave it there dead. For example, you just said yourself, a lumberjack was never used by anyone, and right now there's 50 people there enjoying this job and making a lot of money, so they can uh, use this money in business deals, and so yeah, it's just fixing the economy. The main plan is fixing the economy and making players happy. This is what we're trying to do with these
Yeah,
updates.
and if
Yeah,
the players have been like paying attention, they would notice that like most of the things we've done in the past, like 2 or 3 weeks or even more, have been focused on stabilizing the economy. And we've talked about this in the past podcast as well. The properties thing we just discussed, that's something that will stabilize the economy. The money boost that we get with jobs, that's something that will stabilize the economy. The $50,000 login rewards, that's something that will stabilize the economy. We're like step by step going towards the perfect economy that we have in our minds that we want to achieve.
of course, step by step, step by step. That's what we're doing right now. We're just like we can't do something at once. We got to do them step by step. You said it yourself. So
Yeah, you gotta break it down and approach it one by one. You have to take your time. You have to make sure every little detail is perfectly taken care of, because if fix everything, but there's this one small detail that wasn't properly addressed and taken care of, that one little detail break everything. If you build a giant house from little cards, if one of the cards fall off, the entire house will break. This is the same way things work here and our economy works. If there's something that isn't right, it will ruin everything else that we've done. That's why we have step by step. Everything has to be
yeah,
precisely correct.
of course. Well, basically, one of our main problems on Lawless is fucking gambling. People gamble a lot. They lose their money while gambling, and they quit. Notice they fucking quit, bro. I go to the casino. I have $30 million. I gamble them, and I lose them. So I just feel so demotivated, and I just leave.
Yeah,
So in this update, Barney has limited the gambling limit to 250K. So you can now gamble more than 250K, which is good because unconsciously, if you're gambling, you're gonna keep checking your bank balance and your total wealth. You gotta keep checking it. You gotta see how you lose. So when you keep losing constantly 250K, 250K, you're gonna reach a point where you're gonna stop.
exactly.
Because you can't gamble them all at once. If you could gamble them, you would just go fuck all and gamble them. But you won't do that because it's limited. You can't gamble more than 250K, which is more like a warning for you. It's like the script is telling you stop. You're losing your cash. Stop. Which is also genius. And I really, really am surprised with Barney's brilliant ideas. He's a very clever man. Yeah, so he's going in the right direction right now with his updates and ideas, and we're going step by step forward. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and if I'm not wrong, I think the interest rates were changed too, because when you were gambling downstairs, where the limit is, I think 50,000 or maybe 20,000, I'm not sure. But when you're gambling downstairs, the interest is 12%. So whatever you win, 12% gets taken off. But if you go upstairs, then it's like 5%. So it's also going to like make players who don't have money, players with 20,000 total wealth, not want to enter casino, because even if they win, even if they win, they're going to lose money. Like
Yeah,
there's, as far as probability goes, it's like going to be not wise to enter casino if the interest is 12%. Because even if you win, the chances of you winning are 50-50, right? So
Yeah,
if you win, you're going to get less money than what you would lose. So it's not longer smart to gamble in the casino. Like, I advise against it. I've done it in the past. I don't plan on stepping my foot there ever again because it's just not smart as far as like math and numbers go.
but you did the right decision. Trust me, because gambling is addictive and it's really bad. I got a friend of mine. Of course, you know him, Sean Baxter. You know him, right?
Yeah.
He actually convinced a couple of admins that I don't know how. He just used the middleman money to gamble. He lost it 3 times. He lost people's money 3 times. Can you imagine? Which was supposed to be middleman money. So I don't know how he did it, but we instantly knew about it. So we find him. We find other people. We just trace the money and find everything. You know. So gambling is actually addictive. It's an addiction. Some people can't just stop. They can't stop. So everyone should control it. Everyone should make himself being able of stopping gambling because it's really bad. It makes you quit. It makes you demotivated. It's just not right. I'm even 100% with the idea of removing the casino completely. You know,
Yeah, but then the
totally.
players will get mad. So if we go back
Exactly. That's why
to
it's still
doing
there.
what the players want, we just have to keep it, but let's just
Yep.
limit it to some extent where it's like acceptable, and it's
Yep.
not
Yep.
going.
Yep. 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 Yep.
I mean, I think we've talked about everything and discussed everything, and I think this podcast came out to be pretty long. So let's just wrap it up here. I'm just gonna say that you're a really good guest, and
Thank you.
thanks
I
for being
appreciate
here.
it. Yeah.
Thanks for your wise ideas and your input and your explanations of your work. I just want to say we all appreciate the work you put into the server. You do a lot. Like, not many admins do as much work as you do and take care of as many problems as you do. I mean, just a bit of insight into the admin. We have reports, right? 50% of reports are saying slash report Simon, slash report
Well,
Simon,
th-
slash report Simon, come here.
this is this actually happens because I'm a fucking idiot because I'm too nice with people. Like whenever I see a little new reporting, I just go to him. I try to help him. You know, even on Discord, a lot of random strangers
Exactly.
text. I do my
And
best to reply. That's why I get spammed a lot because I'm always there, ready to reply. I don't just ignore people because I don't know them. You know, I
yeah, you
just do my
help
best to
someone,
help
and then
them.
1 week later, slash report Simon, slash report Simon.
Yeah,
Like,
which is quite
yeah.
unfortunate.
All right. Well, that's been it for today. We will have another podcast on Sunday with a guest who I'm pretty sure you will all love to see. Once again, Simon, thanks for being here.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me here. And yeah, I just want to assure everyone that we're going to keep doing what we're doing right now, and we're looking forward for a better future. And yeah, I'll see you guys around.
All right. It's been Jack, it's been Kent, and it's Simon, and we'll see you guys